So when your libido is low, when your hormones are unbalanced, your libido is very low. You never feel like doing it. You're not enjoying your relationship. You're not enjoying your marriage. What we discovered is men have also got their own issues, and they are treatable. You have benign prostate hyperplasia, a condition of enlarged prostate, which is going to affect men over 50. All that comes with erectile dysfunction, premature ejaculation. You find men are saying, sasa siku hizi siwezi naenda tu round moja, alafu nachoka, bibi ameboeka. You have low libido, you have zero sperm count, you have low sperm count. Men are infertile out there, and we don't know. And these have all been treated by a tree called...
An estimated 1.1 million Kenyans fall into poverty each year. And that's because of healthcare costs. Would SHA, SHIF, UHC change that, or is there more? Or perhaps, what's the difference between a pharmacy with a blue cross and a green cross? What about cancer and the rising incidence amongst the youth? Is it just lifestyle changes, or is there more? Women's health, men's health, your children's health, the economy, this and more awaits you on Season 2 of Kenya's favorite health podcast. My name is Dr. Diana Wangari Gitau, and welcome to Season 2 of the One Health Lens podcast.
I am Cheryl Blessing. This is the One Health Lens Explained edition, where we get deeper into some medical terms. We try and expound more on alternative healthcare and practices that we can integrate into our lives. So today I'm joined by Harriet from Harriet's Botanicals.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
It's such a pleasure to have you here in studio.
Thank you so much.
And basically what you do... just introduce yourself before I introduce you to the audience. Okay. Who are you? Who's Harriet?
So my name is Harriet Ngok, and I am the CEO founder of a company called Harriet's Botanicals, and we manufacture and retail traditional indigenous medicine and related supplements for the urban, African, and diaspora market. So we bridge the gap between what your mama or grandmama in the village would be giving you when you feel sick or when you don't feel so well, and we've brought it actually to the towns and the cities.
I love that. That was very clear, precise, and I love the way you're bridging the traditional aspect of our African lives to the modern context. And when we talk about botanicals, are these products extracted from plants? Because I know with botanicals it's usually plant related.
Yes.
So are they extracted from plants? What is Harriet Botanicals?
So Harriet Botanicals is we make these decoctions. Now a decoction is a liquid that is extracting the bioactive components, yes, from plants. We use the root, the bark, the stem, the leaf, and whether it's a shrub, whether it's whatever it is, any part of the tree, as our ancestors have been using for a very long time. So we are just simply doing what it was done in the village hundreds of years ago. If you think about it, Africans have been surviving, in the savannah and all the related environments that we have here for thousands of years. So there's all these remedies that we've been using, just the same way we have mwarobaine, we have moringa, we have the leleshwa, we have honey that's in the environment, we have bees that actually make honey from, they use the trees, or they use the flowers from traditional trees, indigenous trees, that then makes the honey. So the ogiek are known for that. So the same way the animal, when an animal is sick, when a goat is sick, or when they actually reach for specific plants. And the same way that that, if you are bitten by the snake and there's a poison, there's another plant that you're given actually to combat that poison. So this is ancient traditional knowledge that's been with us for thousands of years, and it's our go-to survival mechanism. So what we always say is that at this very stressful, difficult time of modernity, and Africans for a long time have embraced modern medicine, allopathic interventions, what many are looking for now is a natural, organic, 100% solution that is locally available. So they just don't want you to start giving them something that has side effects. People say, those side effects were too much, I couldn't cope. I'd like to be able to drink a tea if I'm sick. I'd like to drink a herbal tea that restores me to wellness. So that is what we are calling botanical solutions.
I really, really love that, because a lot of this information has been lost to us. They haven't been passed down, and due to colonization and all this westernization, we have lost the information that was very beneficial. So right now, first thing we can think of is probably ginger or lemons.
Absolutely.
And this basic remedies, and those are the most basic of alternatives that are there, because there are things that are more in depth. We have eucalyptus, which can be used for flus and all these other treatments and ailments. You mentioned moringa, which I believe is a leaf. And it's anti-inflammatory. It helps with some conditions like even your heart, your uterus, and all these things that we're not really aware of. And Western medicine essentially is extracted from the same plants, root, bark, and leaves, but they're just modernized.
Absolutely.
Infused with more chemicals to make them the way they are. And the way you talked about having side effects and all these other things that can come from you taking Western medicine, we are realizing that more and more these days. And we want to go back to our traditional way of living. We want to go back to the traditional remedies. But we don't know how. We don't know where to start. So how are you trying to educate people? Because you're providing the alternatives, but is there information that you're giving in addition to the medicine to tell you that if you take this with that, it's probably going to help? If you take this tea at night, it's going to help with your insomnia. It's going to help with, conditions that people are dealing with in this day and time, even like anxiety, depressions. Are you offering information to people to help them understand that this herbal remedies combat this and that as well?
So we believe in treating the whole human, and that means like mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. And we do believe in the whole mind, body, spirit connection. Even things like depression and anxiety come as a result of a stressful environment, or when your hormones are out of balance, or when you're not sleeping at all, or when your adrenals are malfunctioning, or your thyroid is not working. So you find that even before you actually get the physical illness, there's a time that you feel stressed, there's the emotional illness, the mental illness that comes. And mental illness is just like exacerbated stress that is untreated. And when all the different chemicals in your brain become unbalanced. So for us, we are one of those that believe I read a book that, Zamani Zakale, a very long time ago, the doctor used to be paid only when you are well. It was different from now when you pay the doctor when you are sick. The doctor's job is to keep you well. So botanical practitioners like myself believe we should treat you prophylactically, which means we prevent any of those things happening. And when we see them happening, we now make an intervention. And you've spoken about information. So we've been in the market 5 years, and we have literally on every platform. We are on TikTok, we're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on X. We run lives, we run conferences, we do community engagement. We have material. I carried my product guide with me, so that we could get deeper into the different conditions and how we are managing them. We do podcasts, and we're on radio, we're on television, we do reels, we do stories. So what we believe at Iris Botanicals, I think we're the first in the market to give out a lot of information about any condition you have. If you have PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is a condition affecting young women now, mainly due to lifestyle. The fact that we don't eat the way we used to eat, we don't move the way we used to move. So young women are now struggling with infertility. They don't ovulate. They develop cysts, multiple cysts around the ovaries, which are called polycystic ovarian syndrome. Now, along with that, their hormones are out of balance. They have too much testosterone, too much of the male hormone, too little of the female hormone. So they start developing beards, they start developing low voice, they lose their hair, they develop male pattern baldness, they get very big. Then they're also infertile. So you can have a 24-year-old struggling with this condition, not knowing how to treat it. So for us, the first thing is to understand the lifestyle condition associated with PCOS. And then we say, you can make an intervention, use our product to reverse this hormonal problem, use another product to help you absorb energy better into your cells, to help you with insulin sensitivity, to make you more sensitive to insulin as opposed to resistant. And then use this now holistically combined with sleeping better, stress management, hydration, change the food you're eating if you're overeating carbs or sweet sugary snacks, reduce alcohol, reduce coffee so that you can give your liver a break so it can do what it's supposed to do, as opposed to fighting off all the different things you're putting in your body without you knowing what's going on. Now, obviously, if you have, let's say, PCOS, excess, male hormones, you can imagine how stressed you are, how your cycle is all up and down, how your period is very painful. Sometimes your period disappears for 6 months, which just makes you feel what's going on.
What's going on? And the funny thing is, I know 2 different individuals who are experiencing these things, and just the condition itself adds stress to them.
Absolutely.
Makes them depressed, makes them anxious.
Mood swings.
It's so fascinating that there's something that you can actually do about it.
Absolutely. So you see now the mental begins to feed into the spiritual, into your family, your relationships, your friendships. You become withdrawn. Your schoolwork is struggling. You're not confident at work. So you're not operating at an optimum level. So we at Harris Botanicals want to bring you back to the amazing person that you are. Restore all systems, like flatten out all those irregularities. Make you happy, fertile, interested in life, increase your libido the way it should be in your 20s.
The best thing about all that is through natural remedies.
Absolutely.
It's not chemically induced situations, because I know there are people who try out all these different remedies and nothing really works. It's maybe managed for a period of time, but then once you're dealing with hair loss, you have to combat infertility. Once you're dealing with that, you have to combat maybe some other problem that comes up. I was having a conversation with my friend who was saying she's insulin resistant because of that.
Yes.
And that's just one in a couple of conditions that she's dealing with. And the Western medicine will not provide a solution that can combat all that, partly because it's a business. They want to keep you coming back for more. You have to come, pay for all these medical bills, pay for the pharmacists and all that. So you're providing an alternative that is natural and all round. We have conditions that people probably have dealt with their whole lives. I was just sharing with you the way I have hay fever, which is some allergies. And I think they were heightened at some point after 2020. So if I'm in a place where wamefia katunyasi, they just cut grass or something, I get triggered. If there is smoke in the air, I get triggered. If it's too cold, I get triggered. We have people who have asthma, people who are dealing with conditions that were passed on genetically. So can they be reversed through the botanical remedies?
Absolutely. I mean, you use the word anti-inflammatory. So asthma, sinusitis, tonsillitis, chest infections, or people who have this regular, as you called it, hay fever, they're triggered very quickly in the environment. Something changes, oh my God, they're sneezing, and then they're using all these antihistamines, and the antihistamines are now known to be causing, even more side effects. There are people who are developing vitiligo, with excess use of these antihistamines.
Yeah, because you're kind of reliant on it.
Absolutely.
You just have to take them day by day to combat the reactions.
Others are developing irritable bowel syndrome. So you see, it's that whole combination of things, especially if it's a child. If it's your child who's 9 years and 11 years struggling with all these different things, it's very stressful. So we have developed a product, and we developed it after COVID, actually, because people kept on saying, how come you don't have a natural solution for COVID? So in our research, we found that there's an ancient solution for what they were calling pneumonia of the lungs. And when you look at how that particular product works, it's 4 trees, and they have all these properties that you've talked about, anti-allergens, they're also like natural antihistamines, they're anti-inflammatory, they are a decongestant, So when it calms your body down, literally it's like you're under stress. Let's assume that that part of your body, including your immune system,
Yeah.
is under stress. So it's just responding.
Yeah.
So it just calms that down, and then you begin to breathe naturally. So the job of natural medicine is to decongest you,
Yeah.
and then calm down the inflammation. It's antiviral, it's antibacterial. You know, it's very good for flu. The way
Yeah.
kids keep going to school, they keep coming back, they've picked up a cold.
Yeah.
And next thing, they have a running nose all the time. And you're so fed up with giving them antibiotics. You're fed up of the painkillers. They're not sleeping well. So these are natural remedies that have always been there. Every community has them.
Yeah.
Even now, in my community, for instance, when babies are very young, they are bathed in this same solution, like at least once a week, to actually develop their immunity.
Yeah.
So it's like an immune booster. And next thing you notice that the children from the village are much tougher
They're
than the ones in
stronger.
the urban.
Do you know
because of these kind
that's
of
funny
solutions.
because I was up country in 2020. My grandma was saying they bathed us in some
Absolutely.
solution, and I was wondering what was the point of that. Like, did they just want to bathe us in this matawi and things? But I came to realize it actually boosts your immunity.
System, yes.
And some kids who lack that are more susceptible to getting illnesses and all these flus and viruses. So the natural remedies have to start from childhood.
Yes.
Now, what if someone has never, because there are people who maybe they were raised in a very modern setting. In this day and time, it's something that happens more often than we'd like to admit. And they haven't really experienced all this traditional healthcare and remedies. So they're just reliant on Western medicine. How can we educate them and tell them these alternatives are much better for you, for your system, for your overall body, for you to live much longer and deal with all these conditions that can come up later in your life, as opposed to the Western medicine?
So, I mean, for us, when we say we are modernizing traditional medicine, we are touching culture because a lot of people are connected to their culture. And as they say, when all things go wrong, you always want to go home.
Yeah.
So we are maintaining traditional names. We are engaging with the community. We use vernacular radio stations as well. We use Kiswahili stations and English stations. Then we are providing an alternative. And because we have 16 outlets and also retail in Healthy Youth, 30 of their outlets, we are making it easily accessible,
Yeah.
affordable, and it's there. You can walk into any mall right now and get our products, right?
Yeah.
At the same time, our customer service, CRM, and our POS system, we've modernized the business side. So and we have the riders, we have the deliveries, we have DHL, we sell out of the country.
Yeah.
So first things first is to make it, accessible.
To everyone.
I don't have to go all the way to the village to get, my shot of Sagawaita,
Yeah.
or to get medicine for erectile dysfunction, or to get medicine for fertility. I just get it here in town.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing that we do. And then letting people know, giving them an opportunity to try. We do samples so that we are now trying to jumpstart your DNA. You see, your ancestral DNA knows this medicine.
Yeah.
If your great-grandmother was using it, then when you start using it, you're going to respond the same way.
Yeah.
It's literally like we talk about the village now. Somebody was making a complaint that children have so many teeth problems that they never had growing up in the village. And I tell them, yes, because you would chew your natural muswaki. What you don't know is your natural muswaki is medicinal.
Yeah.
As you chew it in your mouth, it's antiviral, it's antibacterial, and it's also changing the pH in your mouth. It's doing the same in your stomach.
Yeah.
So your teeth are not decaying
Yeah.
after you eat. At the same time, you are not having sugar in every snack, in every juice, all the time, having a cup of tea, sugar, having some coffee,
Sugar.
You need a
drinking
snack.
sodas, juices.
Now you have
cakes.
carbohydrates, you have
Yeah.
chapati, you have mandazi. You've changed your whole entire diet. But by changing a few things, just here and there, making a few small interventions, you can go back, I said, to the person you used to be,
Yeah.
or the person you're supposed to be.
I love that. Then maybe just tell us a bit more about some of the products you have, some of the conditions they reverse and combat, so that we have some information. Because you've just talked about something like erectile dysfunction.
Yeah.
We've talked about PCOS, asthma. What else do you have? What else do you produce that combats some of these conditions that we probably assume cannot be treated or are not reversible?
Okay, so the product that grew us, because when we started this, I didn't really start this business. It was really like a hobby, and I was treated myself of a condition called endometriosis, which I struggled with for almost more than 17, 20 years. And I was undiagnosed even at 16 with very, very, very painful periods.
Yeah.
When I had my first painless period in 2017, I gave the same concoction or decoction to a friend who was on her way to a hysterectomy. And that is how my first product, arrowroot, was born. Arrowroot is a tree, Cape ash, and it has 8 different ingredients. So now the same arrowroot, the same mix treats all hormonal imbalances in women, treats infections in the urinary tract, treats primary and secondary infertility. So you're talking about adenomyosis, endometriosis, fibroids. Those are to do with estrogen dominance.
Yeah.
You have PCOS, which we've discussed. Then you have urinary tract infections leading to pelvic inflammatory disorders, leading to blocked fallopian tubes, leading to recurrent miscarriages, and also ectopic pregnancies. And then, now you just have the other ones that are related as well, even to like cysts in the breasts.
Yeah.
And you have other vaginal cysts as well. And then libido. So when your libido is low, when your hormones are unbalanced, your libido is very low. You never feel like doing it. You're not enjoying your relationship. You're not enjoying your marriage.
Yeah.
And of course, the big ones are the primary infertility, secondary infertility, now caused by use of birth control, use or misuse of the P2, which means you have residual family planning in your system even after you've taken it out, but you want to have a baby.
Yeah.
So that's the function of arrowroot. We have tenderweight, which is exactly the same for men. I mean, what we discovered is men have also got their own issues, and they are treatable. You have prostatitis, you have benign prostate hyperplasia, a condition of enlarged prostate, which is going to affect men over 50. It's just like a gradual condition. Of course, you have prostate cancer, stage 1 to stage 4. And these have all been treated by a tree called tenderweight or Prunus africana or moiri. The Kikuyu call it moiri. So many communities have it.
Yeah.
And of course, the usual now, all that comes with erectile dysfunction, premature ejaculation. You find men are saying, sasa siku hizi siwezi naenda tu round moja, alafu nachoka,
Yeah.
bibi ameboeka. You have low libido, you have zero sperm count, you have low sperm count. Men are infertile out there.
Yeah.
And we don't know, they don't know. So in a marriage, the woman is wondering, how come I've gone to the doctor millions of times, nothing has
nothing is
changed.
happening,
Now
yeah.
we're going to check the guy.
Yeah.
We're going to bring up his sperm count. You have steroids in the environment. You have poor eating habits. Men are stressed. They're not sleeping. They're not eating properly. Maybe they're just eating chips, or maybe they're just eating fried foods the whole day.
Manyama choma,
Exactly.
all that.
Exactly. Alcohol,
Yeah.
drugs. So we are now reversing all those because we want our men to be like the best men
Yeah.
on the continent.
And I love
we want
the fact
our
that-
African men back, with high libido,
Exactly.
high energy, enthusiasm. These things again affect how you work, your financials, how you perform at work, whether you take charge. Testosterone.
Yeah.
You need that male hormone to make you like roar like a lion in the home.
Yeah.
You're in charge. You're
so
the
people
leader.
can feel your
Absolutely.
energy.
Absolutely. So, all these conditions affecting men, and you're out there wondering why people have become so lackluster,
Yeah.
is because of also hormonal issues for men.
I really like the fact that, first of all, these products deal with multiple issues. It's not just this is particularly for the PCOS or for infertility. It deals with all of it across the board for the male and the females. And another thing that you've talked about that I think has been a conversation is the way women are more masculine and men are more feminine.
Absolutely.
We just don't understand that it's because of the hormonal imbalance, because of the lifestyle and the times we're in today.
Yeah.
So taking traditional concoctions actually can reverse that.
Absolutely.
And that's one thing that we've been missing in this day and time. So I love that you've brought that into the market. Now, I'm wondering, you've talked about some kids being bathed in certain stuff.
Yeah.
So are there medicines that, other botanicals rather, that we can offer them to even boost their immunity, to ensure that when they go to school, they don't catch a flu so easily, they don't have some of these conditions, maybe even skin conditions? Because there are people who, I came to discover I have eczema, and I was told I can never treat eczema. Then I tried some organic skincare products, and I had a bad breakout where it was scarring. It reversed the entire thing. I couldn't tell in a few weeks that I had a breakout. So that's something that the doctors won't tell us. So are there those alternatives that you're offering for the kids, for skin conditions and other such conditions?
Yes, eczema is a big one for us, especially eczema in children.
Yeah.
So that is a condition we have been able to reverse using the same sagawaita, the one I had mentioned about sinusitis. So that one is also for allergenic skin conditions. So babies are bathed in it or even sponged in it, when it's to do with an eczema breakout. But we're also developing, with the same botanicals, an eczema soap and an eczema balm. Because that is what's coming out next year now, is that we're developing botanical skin products for steroids, for eczema, and for acne, and for anti-aging, using the same plants again, because they have the same kind of effect. So we also have a gut health, product, something called busareg, which is ash. So it's very interesting. You find that the gut is your whole entire immune system. Most autoimmune conditions are connected to the gut. If your gut microbiome is good, and you have you're taking something that cleans your gut, takes out all these excess toxins, takes out excess estrogen. So gut again becomes the foundation. They say the gut is a second brain. Everything that's happening in your gut is also happening in your brain. So you find people with advanced dementia, advanced issues, also have a gut problem. So we are recently now really going deep into autoimmune. People who flare up, people who are feeling fatigued all the time, their lives are just not working out. We are exploring what's happening in the gut. And then with another product for insulin resistance, as you spoke about, your diabetes type 2, diabetes type 3, your cardiovascular issues, joint pain is a big one, rheumatoid arthritis, osteoporosis. And this same product is related also because the hormones are dropping. Another sort of insulin related condition comes up connected to hormones. Hormones start dropping. So all the things that estrogen used to regulate, estrogen has 400 functions, now have to be regulated by the adrenals. And this is when you start talking about the hot flushes, sleep insomnia, your sleep dysregulation, your heat dysregulation, your night sweats, the things that are embarrassing you again. You're out there feeling so good. You're dressed in your best dress, and then you just sweat. And everything is wet. And people asking you, what's wrong?
What's going on? It's probably a very cold day.
It is freezing, but you are hot.
And
at night, you're just removing the blanket. So these are things now that begin to be regulated when you now have something that helps you evacuate excess insulin. And now to manage these lifestyle conditions. Because if you go to the village, you'll never hear a 70 or 50 or 60-year-old woman complaining about hot flashes.
True.
But here at 42, women are saying, I'm getting hot flashes. So you're like, we have lost the gift of eternal youth.
True.
Of eternal health.
The way we like to say black doesn't crack.
Well, because of
because of the lifestyle and the times we're living in, this we can see the impact. We can feel the cracks. So I really love that you're taking care of all that. Another thing that probably I want us to highlight before we end the conversation, there's usually some negative mindset, the negative ideologies that people tend to have when it comes to organic, natural remedies. People don't understand that the body is all linked, and you have to treat one part, the way you said with the gut, to clear the entire system. People don't understand once your heart is in check, then everything else is good. Absolutely. So we are more reliant on Western medicine. We trust doctors more. If a doctor says I should do it, then I'm going to do it. But if Harriet comes in and says, you need to just drink this concoction and I'm promising you're going to be okay, they're like, Harriet, who said? Show me your certifications.
Absolutely.
So how can we educate people more on the benefits of this, especially linking it with our traditional way of life that used to be there, that we've just lost along the way, because there's so many alternative health practices that are coming up, very beneficial for people, but people are adamant to try them out because they're skeptical.
Absolutely.
So how can we reverse that mentality?
So reversing that whole colonial sort of mental thing that we're going through, you can see it a lot now in how young people are asking questions. Young people will ask questions about GMOs, about seeds. So what I am seeing online is incredible, because people are saying, is that healthy? Healthy fats, what do they look like? This type of oil, is it good for me? And now you see everybody's going to the gym, some are working out. People want to be young again. And everyone is afraid, especially my generation, who our parents got your heart attacks and your stroke and your other diseases like cancer.
We have cancer.
We are scared of those. So that has pushed them into like organic traditional medicine. If you saw your mother go through chemo for breast cancer, you just know you don't want to go through that. If you saw your father go through prostate cancer and you knowing that there's a genetic angle to it, you are definitely on the lookout to say, what can I do? What am I eating wrong? So we used to have a lot of that negativity, and then I can say we demystify traditional medicine. We work with the authorities. We are certified as well. Some of our products do have KEBS, the ones that require. We're working with Pharmacy and Poisons Board as well. So when I say we've modernized, I say we have modernized. We have doctors on board. We work with nurses on our team. So we also have nutritionists. So I have brought the modern element, I can say, the business side, my background as well, because I have a business background, and the university I went to, I've brought in all the legal, the regulatory mechanisms. I don't think there's anything we've left out in our quest to re-educate the public, on what these plants are, how they are used even in Western allopathic medication. We call it by the Latin name. We can call it Legetetiet or Carissa edulis, or we can call it Muiri or Tendweight, Punas africana, or the African cherry. So that you yourself can go and do the research. We also
just find information.
We publish our own research. You can learn more about us on our website. So we've done a lot of that education. I mean, it's been a journey.
It's been a journey for it.
Has
and where can we find you on your social platforms?
So we're everywhere, Harriet's Botanicals. We have a website. You can find us there. We're everywhere, actually. Even if you Google us right now, we're using the Google platform and Facebook, Google, Instagram. We advertise on those platforms. So you can find us very easily. If it's on the business side, we're available.
I love that you've really, really expounded on the need for this. You're very accessible, very affordable, and these products deal with multiple issues. Absolutely. It's not just this one for your cold, this one for your allergies. I love that aspect. I love that we're going back to the traditional medicines. I think, unfortunately, our time is out, but this has been a very lovely discussion. I hope you have gotten something from this conversation. I myself have. I'm ditching everything modern, the things that I can't ditch, and moving to the alternative, the traditional alternative, because there was a reason why our grandparents, our great-grandparents were strong, healthy, did not deal with half of the conditions that we're dealing with. So that's very lovely. You can check out Harriet's Botanicals on their social platforms, and we'll come back next week with another interesting conversation around the medical field, conditions and things that we need to demystify more of. That's it for us today. My name is Cheryl Blessing, and this is the One Health Lens Explained podcast.